We are about to say goodbye to Lewis Lake again. This is my first of 4 days off, but my power is so low, I need to run my generator. And so the very first thing I'm going to do is stop right here and go start my generator.
Turn left.
So let me do that, and then we're going to get on the road.
Wake up with the sun in our eyes. Sally forth, no need for goodbyes. Journey calls, let's roll the dice. Every mile a new surprise.
We're going to be listening to the generator run the whole time we're driving today, because I think it's going to take about 4 hours to get my batteries charged up again. So we're going to go up to Canyon Village, I think it's called, and we're going to have brunch there. So that will be new territory. And ideally I would not have wanted to leave today, but I'm down to 44% on my batteries. So, you know, less than half in 4 days. It has been completely overcast and mostly raining, and I am concerned that I might have to do this again on Saturday. Although if that's the case, on Saturday I'll probably just go down to the parking lot where I just turned on the generator and just sit down there and let it run for a little while. So, I don't know, we'll see. We will see. So today is Thursday, October the 2nd. And Henry thinks the temperature is 52 degrees now. Yay! It was only it was like 41 when I got up at about 6 o'clock this morning, so not too bad overnight. And because I knew I was going to be getting propane again today, I've just kind of been running my furnace willy-nilly, because why not? And although I've only got 64 miles on this tank of gas, and probably, you know, in the neighborhood of 100 when I get up to Canyon Village, I'm going to burn probably 4 gallons worth of gas trying to get my batteries recharged. So I'm definitely learning my lesson about extended stays in tall trees. And for example, if I were leaving these tall trees today and not coming back into them, I wouldn't even bother running my generator, most likely. I'd just go, because it'd take a couple of days to get back up to full strength, and then I'd be back to normal. But with the fact that I'm going right back into all these tall trees, I really need to get charged up again. And I know there's been a lot, you know, what you've been seeing in these recent videos has been a lot of talk about power, but power is pretty important if you want to live the way that I want to live. So said differently, power is important to me for the way that I want to live. And I'm sharing all of this with you because those of you who want to live the way that I want to live really need to understand the realities of what that means sometimes as well. And the reality, you know, while I've been here at Lewis Lake in Yellowstone, is that I haven't been able to run my air fryer or my Instant Pot at all while I'm in camp, because I just don't have enough power. I'm not able to regenerate enough power to be able to do that. So, it's been an interesting experiment, and I've learned that I don't want to be a camp host in all these tall trees for an entire season. Because I think even in the summertime, I would have difficulty being able to do what I want to do. That's what I think. And I may not be doing much of any cooking for the next week. I might just be eating boiling bags out of my freezer, because I've got the brat stew. Oh, I might make spaghetti though. I've got the brat stew. I've got the codfish curry. Although the last 2 portions of that I froze doesn't have any fish in it, so I need to add some chicken. And I've got some other stuff in the freezer that I can just, you know, boil in the bag. So I may not do any actual cooking this week. Although I do still have some Brussels sprouts and cabbage, so I gotta think about that. Enough talk about cooking. Alright, and enough views of the trees. I will probably wait until we see something new to turn the camera back on. Or we see something interesting, like maybe some wildlife. Or, heaven help us, I think of something actually interesting to say, because this is not it. Okay, so previously we turned right here to go to Fishing Bridge. We're going to continue straight for 16 more miles to go to Canyon Village. And we are hopeful that we may see some wildlife today. A couple of campers told me they saw grizzlies up here yesterday. I think it was yesterday. And swans. I don't think I've ever seen... That's not true. I have seen swans. But it has been many decades. The last time I saw swans, I lived in Maryland. I lived in Westminster. So that would have been probably 1983, 1984, that time period. Wow, that's a while ago. And my ex and I had a Chesapeake Bay Retriever that, you know, they're bird dogs, right? And he was not terribly familiar with the concept that the birds were supposed to be dead before he retrieved them. So he would often, like, go out in the water and go chase water birds. Tried to get a swan in a pond. Good thing he was on a leash. The swan survived. But yeah, I think that's the only time I've seen live swans. So, I don't know. We'll see what we see. Well, we just passed a very large sign that said, "Caution, bison are dangerous and wild, do not approach." So, I wonder what we might see. There's some geothermal activity over there. I think we're going to stop here for a few minutes. Can you hear it? You can see a little pool over there, but the activity sounds like it's coming from right here. And you can see there's, well, maybe you can see, there's plenty of water right around here. So I don't want to get too close and end up in the wrong location. Look at this view though. How stunning is that? I parked right up there. You can just see the roof. And perhaps you can still hear the generator running. We're making progress on the batteries, but it's going to be an all-day affair, I think. So, I just saw the pullover and thought it might be a nice place to stop for a minute or two. And so we did. I am just so happy to see stunning blue skies and feel fairly warmth. Got some kind of geothermal activity over there. Wonder if we can get closer to it. Let's go find out. Well, the actual Mud Volcano basin is back up there to the right. but we saw this pullout right down there. And look at this. You can definitely smell the sulfur here. And I'm sure that's what's giving the bubbling mud its greenish tint, greenish yellow tint. I'm gonna go walk up this way, have a look at all these steam vents. Oh, and we've got interpretive signs too. Cool. Pretty cool. What do you think, Kit? Is it pretty cool? He says, I'm just interested in sniffing stuff, thanks very much. And we are getting a little fall color, see? See that? Well, I have to admit, I really did not want to leave and go for a drive today. But now that I'm out and doing it, I'm glad I am. Quite a bit of steam coming up out of there. And not sure if you can see, yeah, maybe you can see the holes in the rocks down in that pool. That's pretty cool. Well, this is pretty cool. Looking out ahead there at those bulges in the hillside, they're called resurgent domes, and magma is moving underneath that section. We're in the caldera here. And then looking at these sulfur pools, this is 10 times more acidic than lemon juice. That's pretty unexpected. And there's the river over there, so let's go walk that way too and take a look. Alright, so from this angle, we get kind of a better view of the steamy part. And a little bit better view of the river down there. Pretty impressive. And we haven't been to the big parking lot yet. Maybe we'll do that on the way back. I would like to see a grizzly. That hasn't happened yet. But we'll see. Batteries are up to 67%. It's almost 12 o'clock. Alright, well this is Canyon Village. That's a gas station on the left. We have finished up here at the village. We've had a bacon cheeseburger, and then I went back in and I got ice cream, which is in the freezer. We can have that later. There's a post office over here to the right. Batteries are up to 89%. We're gonna go do the North Rim Drive. I ran into my friend Dave from Site 35 at Lewis Lake. I think it was 35, 34, something. Well, I know what site it is. So we're gonna go do the rim drive because I still need to kill some more time while I'm waiting for batteries to fill up. I might as well keep driving while I do it. And so then we're gonna go back to Fishing Bridge and fill up propane and fuel. But I'll probably still be running the generator on the way back, I'm guessing. So the rim drive apparently comes out right here at the village, but it's a one-way road, so I have to go back to get to it. Got a few more things we'll be taking a look at today. Don't think we've got any hiking in mind. And of course, with the government shutdown, I wasn't able to stop in at the visitor center to find out, you know, what else I coulda, shoulda, woulda been doing. But I think after this round, I'm gonna feel like I've done a fair amount of exploring of Yellowstone, especially as compared to what I might have done otherwise. Well, of course, the wind just kicked up, so I hope you can hear this. Particularly, I hope you can hear the water. This in itself is not a pretty spectacular view, but just look at this. How about that for a spectacular view? That's very cool. Very, very cool. And I think there's another overlook up here. Let's keep going and see if that's true. Kit is stopping to read every possible bit of email and leaving his own messages. Aren't you, Kit? Oh my, look at that. That's pretty spectacular. That's what we were hearing from the last overlook, but we couldn't see it. And then we still get all of this down here. And there it is again. We ended up walking the entire length of this area to get all the way down here to the overlooks, but it was worth it, for sure. And unfortunately, you're not getting the beautiful views. And I'm not sure that the video that I shot, oops, is going to be all that great either in terms of really giving you an idea of just how beautiful it is. But we'll find out later. Tell you what, it's a gorgeous day. Whoops, 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 whoops. So these look like people trying to park, and I just want to drive through. Can we get anything over the edge? Not really. Oh wait, what's this? This doesn't say anything about no parking. What about if we park here? Well, we've been having a big, beautiful day. And I just came out and saw this. That looks like we might be getting ready to have a storm. All right, but we're gonna spin around because he's wrapped me up, as he does. I thought I wasn't gonna find a parking place here, but just as I was getting ready to leave, there was one, and several other people have filled in behind me. Come on, Kit. And I have a feeling this is going to be the money shot for this particular overlook, and people aren't coming all the way out here. Huh. Interesting. Oh, it goes off to the left as well. I guess we'll go that way too. So apparently, the South Rim has more iconic, better views. Ooh, look at this though. That's pretty cool. And you can just barely see the waterfall out there. There's supposed to be nesting osprey in this area. All right, let's just walk up here. The jagged formations are pretty daggone cool. Yeah, I doubt that we're going to get to the South Rim because it's already like 2 o'clock and I don't think it's going to be worth it to me to put up with the crowds. So I think we're going to just head back to Fishing Bridge, and we might stop other places along the way, but head back to Fishing Bridge and get propane and fuel and then go home. Whoa, yeah, I'm having a little difficulty with this height thing because it's like right here and I just leaned right over here. Whew. That's a little bit of a thing. But they put this paved pathway here, so we might as well walk up it, huh? Oh yeah, those clouds are looking pretty threatening. Look at that. Beautiful though. What a gorgeous day it's been. And then I think tomorrow's going to be partly cloudy, and then it's going to be rain, and then rain and snow, and then snow. When I looked last night, they were talking like 3 or 4 inches on Sunday. So we'll see how I end up doing with this. Whew. Oh, this is hard for me. I can't actually look at it while I'm walking because see this fence here? I can't look through the fence, yeah, and look down without freaking myself out. So we're just filming and hopefully it's pretty because I can't look and walk. I'd say it's pretty. All right. I don't have any idea how far this trail thing goes, but it goes at least that far. Oh, and this is how we fix falling rock, I guess. All right, there you can see the river down there now. Wow. Just gorgeous. And now we're walking through this canopy of trees in this section. It's pretty cool. You can still see the canyons out there. Oh yeah. All right, so I am really glad I decided to come up to Canyon Village today. I thought I was just looking for a different place to eat. Oh, North Rim Trail. That's what this is. So I guess we could keep going, but I don't think we're gonna. I think we're gonna take a look at this overlook, and then we're gonna head back. Look at these beautiful views. Canyon varies from 800 to 1,200 feet in depth and from 1,500 to 4,000 feet in width. Its length is about 24 miles. The upper 2.5 miles is the most colorful section. Hot spring activity has continued throughout the ages, altering the lava rock to produce lovely colors, which are largely due to varied iron compounds. Have you noticed that steam vents and geysers are still at work on the canyon walls? Cool. Kit, come this way. Come. He decided to go over the wall there and go free range. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Don't jump!
Whoa!
Wow, just look at this. Just look at it.
Look at it. It's great.
I'm telling you guys, this is awesome.
You better believe it.
All right, you just got featured on YouTube now. So the lovely couple that I featured in that last clip are from upstate New York. They're from Naples. And as is typical of people that come from small towns that aren't easily recognized, you know, they started off with Finger Lakes. Okay, what part? Oh, we're near Canandaigua. Okay, what part? And finally they said Naples. And I said, oh yeah, of course. And they looked at me like, you know where it is? I said, yeah, I used to live in Horseheads, which is another little town in upstate New York that nobody's ever heard of who hasn't lived in upstate New York in that area, which is near Seneca Lake in the Finger Lakes. So yeah, this was a fun little walk. Just absolutely beautiful. And at that last overlook, the colors were even more outstanding than they are from here, which is where I first noticed them. But then so many people showed up, I couldn't get still pictures, though I got a little video, so that's cool. All right, we're gonna head on back down to the parking lot down here. And we're gonna be heading on our way. Yeah. So I'm really glad I decided to do this today. So we're back at that scary section, but just the way the light's hitting, it's gorgeous. Really pretty. And it looks like kind of the gray clouds are breaking up a little bit, maybe? Hard to say. It's kind of too bad that you really can't see the views from here, but we just walked a good piece of the trail along here, and it's very, very pretty. Oh, and here's another parking area up here, which I guess I walked almost all the way up to. So that's cool. Alright, so when I looked before we went out to walk, my batteries were at 99%. Yeah, that whole thing just said oversized vehicle parking being taken up by undersized vehicles. Anyway, my battery said they were at 99%, so I think I'm going to stop in Canyon Village again and see if I can turn off the daggone generator yet. It's 2:30 in the afternoon. And we left at what, about 10:30, I think? See if I can figure that out real quick. Yeah, 10:26 I think it says. So we've been running for about 4 hours, and that's about what I figured it was going to take. Inspiration Point Canyon views. I guess I can do this. Probably can't park down here, but let's go look. Let's just go look. Of course, now Google's going to try and reroute me, I'm sure. Okay, so all we gotta do is get fuel and propane. So we've driven about 55 miles, I think. I think we were at like 63 or something like that when we started. Glacial Boulder Trailhead. Is that the Glacial Boulder? Glacier Boulder. Cool. I think I'm going to be ready to go spend some time in the desert after my time here. That's what I'm thinking. With wide open views. Actually, it doesn't need to be desert. Valleys would be, you know, wide valleys with big vistas would be a-okay as well. Is there any parking here for me? Maybe. Might be parking for me around the corner there. Alright. It's pretty cool. And I was going to skip this whole thing today. Glad I didn't.
Yeah, we had it on our list, so we being at home, so.
I didn't actually have anything on my list. I thought I was going to do all the normal stuff like Old Faithful and the paint pots and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I did Old Faithful.
Yep.
Couldn't get into the paint pots. Parking has been a challenge for me.
Yeah, parking is tough.
On the other hand, having been here for over a month, I'm actually seeing a lot more than I would have if I were just passing through. So that part's very cool. And I hope these colors are picking up for you guys, because
I know.
you would like to have been here in person.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Absolutely.
We gotta look out from the top. I didn't want to walk down all the steps. There were way too many people there. And as happens very frequently when people are out sightseeing in, you know, popular areas like this, it's all about them. And so they're not really paying attention. I didn't want to get riled up. I didn't want to get me riled up. I really am not a fan of crowds, so there's that. So that was Inspiration Point, and I had a look at the locator map while I was back there, and the previous stop that we made before this one was actually the Grand View, so I'm really glad that I walked all the way up there and got such a grand view. So I don't know if there are any more stops or not before we get back to Canyon Village. By the way, the batteries are now in absorption mode. So I'm going to let the generator keep running because I want to be in float. And we're already clouding over, so I'm probably not going to pick up much more solar today anyway. So I'll probably just let the generator keep running until we get to Fishing Bridge, maybe.
In a quarter mile, turn right.
I am concerned that I'm going to need to leave the park, or leave the campground again to run the generator.
Turn right.
Possibly before the snow even, just to make sure I've got as full a charge as possible so I don't have to move in the snow. On the other hand, I might just end up being a scofflaw. We'll see. Probably not. So yeah, I think we are almost done with the rim drive. And I don't think we're going to bother with the South Rim Drive. And I almost think I've got a little chip in my windshield to the left edge there. Oh yeah, because we're coming back up into the Canyon Village area. Canyon Village Lodging to the left. It's kind of nice looking. And then this will be the shopping area coming up to the left again, I think. Campground's to the right, but it's closed. Yeah, so there's the Canyon Village shopping area where we stopped and had lunch and hung out for a little while. And now, we're going to just head on down the road. How about that? What's this on the right?
800 feet, turn left onto Ransom Road.
Let's try the Mud Volcano area. Dragon's Mouth, Black Dragon's Cauldron. See if we're able to park here. Oh, look at that. Actual RV parking available. It's shocking. I gotta just park right here. Well, got plenty of thermal activity here. This is the Mud Volcano area. This is the Mud Cauldron, and the wind is kicked up quite a bit, I guess getting ready for all the storms coming in. Come. Come. No idea how long the walk is actually, but all the arrows indicate that you start this way, go up and around, and then come down closer to where it is that we parked. So we'll see, although we seem to have people going in both directions. But this way I get the uphill done first. That one, it looks like there's going to be plenty of uphill to do. Look over here. More sulfur pools, I guess, and I can see some steam over there. Kit's very interested in smelling something to pee on. That would be my boy. All right, come on, Kit. And he doesn't love walking on these paved trails. I think the stones are kind of sharp on his feet. So this hillside was covered by dense forest until 1978, but changed dramatically after a swarm of earthquakes struck the area. In spite of being jolted again and again, the trees remained standing but met their demise soon afterward when ground temperatures soared to 200 degrees Fahrenheit. Wow. Roots sizzled in the superheated soil, and trees toppled over one by one as steam rose eerily between the branches. No wonder the hill was dubbed Cooking Hillside. Well, that's pretty interesting. Okay. Well, I thought we weren't going to go on any kind of a hike today, but based on what I'm seeing in terms of the elevation gain, I think we'll count this one. Here's a better view of the sulfur pools down there. And the beautiful river out there. Very nice. Mud geyser. In the late 1800s, mud geyser erupted every few hours, spewing muddy water 50 feet into the air. By 1927, eruptions no longer occurred. Half a century later, a swarm of earthquakes shook the area. Soil temperatures skyrocketed, killing many of the trees that surrounded the pool. Around the turn of the 21st century, violent steam vents hissed forth, their large craters gaping open wide enough to swallow the logs that fell in. Will mud geyser erupt again? Nobody knows, but this changeable area will likely look different on your next visit. Okay, looks like we just got to walk uphill for a while. No reason to have you listen to me huff and puff while I do that. Well, now you get to hear me huffing and puffing. We arrived at Sizzling Basin. Look at it flow down. That's where we came from. Alright, so we're on boardwalk now. No idea for how far. Little waterfall over here. That's pretty cool. All right, that's very cool. Very cool. You hear the drop of the little waterfall there. That's very cool. And we got plenty more steam activity going on up here. Come right here. Stay. Good job. Go left. Okay, good job. I want to let those kids get past. Look at all this steam. And smell the sulfur. Too bad there's no smell-o-vision for you. Whoa. we're engulfed in it. Oh, it's making waves there in the pool. See if we get a view of the actual eruption when we get around over here. Oh yeah, that's some wave activity. Come on, Kit. Yeah, check that out. Wow. Imagine how hot that is.
I wanted to jump in every single one I've seen so far except for this one.
Yeah, this one you said not so much?
Yeah, like not this one. That one looks too intense. But some of the ones that are like bright blue and just bubbles, I was like, that's just jacuzzi.
Well, I particularly liked at West Thumb where they're running down into the lake.
Oh yes. Yeah,
So you can get in right at the lake where it's warm but not hot.
Yeah.
That'd be very cool.
Yeah, very cute dog.
Thank you. All right. Just look at it. Okay. Well, once again, I am very happy I decided to go ahead and do this. And I know I say it a lot, but it's, you know, mostly I avoid the very touristy things just because it's often difficult to have to deal with people. Come on, Kit. Somebody has had a dog here and allowed it to pee on some of these bushes along the path, and that's what he keeps trying to smell. But when he's working, there is no peeing. Oh, we have a fork in the road. Oh, look at that. Wow. Well, hopefully the mic's picking up okay, because the wind is certainly picking up pretty strongly. You see the trees blowing. Look at all of this. Yeah, and those clouds are looking ominous again. Yeah, I see some more steam up here. All right. I think I'm gonna feel like I earned that burger by the time we get done today. Look at all of this. Wow. Black Dragon's Cauldron. This mud pot roared into existence in 1948, blowing trees out by roots and forever changing this once quiet forested hillside. A park interpreter named the feature for its resemblance to a darkly colored demon of the backwoods. For several decades, it erupted in explosive 10 to 20 foot bursts of black mud. Sorry, it's been a lot of uphill, guys. Over the years, it's moved 200 feet to the southeast and become relatively quiet. However, as change is constant in Yellowstone, the Black Dragon may one day roar back to life. Wow. So you can see some little eruption right over there in the center. Just like that. Plenty of steam. Lots of bubbles. Another little eruption right over here. Very cool. All right. And then that just looks like a lake over there. So I don't know if we get to find out what that is or not. We'll see. I don't think there's a sign out here, but let's go ahead to the end and see if we get a better look of this lake-like thing here, which actually I guess might just be a large pond, because I don't think it's more than 20 acres. Well, they call it a lake. Sour Lake. It's pretty. Bet you can taste the sulfur in it though, probably. There's the Black Dragon Cauldron back over there. All right, let's see what else we can see. Okay, look how high up we are now. Whew. I might have a little difficulty with this going down. I might be doing what I did at the Grand Canyon overlooks and just go ahead and film this and not look at it until I'm in editing. Yeah, a little creepy for me. Wow. So this is the other side of this hillside that we walked up, and you can still see quite a few trees down on the ground. And can you hear all these boards kind of rattling? That's a little creepy too. Of course, it's possible that if I had come up this side, I may not have come all the way up. I don't know. I'd like to think I'm getting better at this stuff. I'd like to think. Oh look, there's a new one. Here's something burbling. It's the grizzly fumarole. Changes from day to day and season to season. Is it a mud pot or a fumarole? I guess it's both. Oh goody, now we got a bunch of steps. Come on. I wonder how many people actually do this whole thing. Come, come. Good job. Good job, Kit Kit. Oh good, we're almost done with the boardwalk parts. Get some more of this nasty asphalt pathway that he doesn't like. And I don't think there's really going to be anything to show you until we get down near the bottom again. You can see the parking lot though, so that's cool. So we have now established that this trail would have been uphill in either direction. And I don't know that one side is any worse than the other. Plenty steep. I was getting a little concerned that I didn't see my RV yet, but now I do. See it over there? There's Henry. I'm just glad we were able to get a place to park here, because this was totally worth seeing. Kit, what are you doing? Come, come. No, you're not going to go exploring the meadow. Come. Oh, look at this one. Look at it. This is the Mud Volcano area. Very cool. And very gray for this one. In 1870, explorers stood in awe as mud volcanoes spewed mud into the treetops, shaking the ground with each eruption. 2 years later, it was a pool of bubbling, muddy water. Mud volcano had blown itself apart. Sulphur is the source. Pretty cool. All right, let's keep going. We're almost done here. I'm not sure that there's anything else to actually see. I'll let you know if there is, though. This is the Dragon's Mouth, named in 1912 by a park visitor. Oh. And until 1944, it was still erupting enough that sometimes the waves would hit the boardwalk.
Oh.
And now you've just contributed to the YouTube video that I'm filming. So congratulations.
Thanks.
You're now on YouTube. Just like that, we are all done with our exploration of the mud volcanoes and the Dragon's Mouth and the Dragon's Tongue and the grizzly fumarole. I feel complete. How about you? We're gonna hop back in Henry, see if we can turn off the daggone generator yet, and get on our way. We are fueled up and propaned up. We only took 2.6 gallons of propane. So I think we'll be able to get through this snowpocalypse this weekend.
400 feet. Turn left.
We're going out the back way.
Turn left toward US 14 West. West. Then turn right on US 14.
So overall fuel economy was 8.96 mpg. We had 130 miles on the odometer for this tank, which means we should have used about 13 gallons, and we only got 14 and a half gallons in after running the generator for actually about 5 hours today and about 2 hours on Sunday.
14 West. US
So I guess the generator doesn't use quite as much fuel as I thought it did. So that's pretty cool. All right, our work is done. We never did get to the visitor center here. Oh well. No, I think we drove down and looked at it the last time we were up here, but didn't stop. But I am pretty daggone tired now, so I think we're gonna just head home.
half a mile.
Get parked, get set up. Well, this is it. About a half a mile from Lewis Lake turn off. Still a beautiful afternoon, still 62 degrees out here. That's pretty nice.